A Valley father tried suing the Diocese of Phoenix back in 2012, claiming his son was molested by Father John Spaulding.
And now, nearly a decade later, that priest has been indicted, accused of sexually assaulting two other boys under the age of 15.
Team 12's Bianca Bono joins us live in the Alert Center with what we're learning tonight. Bianca?
Well, guys, the lawsuit was filed by David Michael Payne Sr. because his son, the alleged victim, died. His dad believes his death was a result of the abuse he endured. This was the scene in June of 2010. David Michael Payne Jr.'s body found in a hotel parking lot. He had been shot by his father, David Michael Payne Sr. Payne Jr. had broken into his house under the influence of meth. In a lawsuit, Payne Sr. says his son's behavior was out of control, and he says it's because he was molested by his priest, Father John Spaulding. The lawsuit says Spaulding became close with Payne Jr., claiming to help him through his parents' divorce. But in the lawsuit, Payne Sr. says the priest would go on to molest his son multiple times throughout the mid-'80s.
He was a charismatic and is a charismatic priest who was well-liked in the communities.
Robert Pastor is an attorney representing others who say they were also molested by Spaulding.
We know that Father Spaulding ran a program called Life Teen that he used to identify children and groom children for sexual abuse.
Spaulding was suspended by the Diocese of Phoenix in 2011 after credible allegations of sexual misconduct with a minor. And now, at age 74, Spaulding is indicted, accused of sexually abusing two boys under the age of 15 between 2003 and 2007.
Is the first step towards real justice.
The diocese releasing a statement saying it's committed to providing a safe environment where it values and honors every individual. But Pastor says the diocese knew about Spaulding's behavior and should also be held accountable.
They absolutely share responsibility because they covered it up and they let it occur.
And the Life Teen program Spaulding ran was founded by Dale Fushek, a former leader in the Diocese of Phoenix who was also charged with assault. Fushek was also accused of witnessing a priest commit sexual assault and not doing anything about it. We're live in the Alert Center tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News at 10.
Thank you, Bianca.